Wait, so that's how they make cotton candy? Here's your spooky spot on the Spirit Halloween Killer Clowns from Outer Space Cotton Candy Gun. Look like you've stepped out of your favorite sci-fi horror comedy film when you wave this official Killer Clowns from Outer Space cotton candy gun in the air. This prop has flashing LED lights, movie-inspired spinning motion, and authentic sound effects that make it all the more attention-getting. Use this colorful gun as part of your Killer Clowns from Outer Space costume. In celebration of this review of the cotton candy gun, I've now passed around little tiny bags of cotton candy for all of you to enjoy. The ones that actually have body parts, feel free not to eat those. Let me know and I'll grab you guys another bag. Before we get a closer look, though, at the cotton candy gun from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, let's go ahead now and grab the tape measure and see how spooky the size is. It's probably not going to be very spooky. First of all, in inches, from one end of the gun to the back of the handle, the Killer Clown from Outer Space cotton candy gun is about 10 inches in length, or it's about 25 centimeters long. Ooh, and for some size comparisons, I thought this would be fun. This is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space cotton candy gun from the recently re-looked at Amok Time Tiny and Shorty. Just to kind of show you guys the size difference. Obviously, this would be a lot easier to wield in hand than this tiny little replica, but at least the colors, they've matched nicely. The reds, the whites, of course, even the striped handles. The handle on the smaller variety cotton candy gun is actually a little bit darker, but other than that, like, they've matched the colors rather nicely. Ooh, gonna put that to the side. The batteries are already installed when you do buy the cotton candy gun. One thing I would certainly recommend is making sure the box does have still that plastic obstructing, that little strip of plastic on the bottom. That way you know no kids have gone up and constantly pressed the trigger button where you would have to then replace the batteries right away. Batteries sit inside here. You just have to take yourself a screwdriver, unscrew this. But like I said, I already know. I've checked this several times over. The cotton candy gun does work. Wouldn't it be funny now and that the cotton candy gun doesn't actually now work in this review? Speaker is located here on the side. You don't have to necessarily point this in the direction of the person that's, they have to be on this side necessarily. This side does not have a speaker, but you can hear it still perfectly fine. The trigger, by the way, there is an on and off button. Let's go ahead and make sure I've got that. Yeah, I got it on. Off, by the way, just switch it to off, but we're going to switch it to on. One thing that's certainly a little bit more appealing is the side that doesn't have the speaker, because you can see there's no visible screw holes until you turn it around to the other side. Oh yeah, you notice there's a couple of little screw holes here in the handle, here in the main carriage of the gun itself, and of course across the top there area there as well. This is the more presentable. This is the Julia Child side. Everybody says, why do you keep referencing that? Julia Child would always say, this is the public side. This is the side you want to show on the platter when you're inviting guests over. You don't want to have the gross burnt out side of the omelet. That's the side that's on the bottom. That's the side that nobody is ever going to see. One thing I will say, though, about the gun, there's really no way to have it properly displayed. It's always going to look like this when you're putting it on the shelf. I understand, yes, that Spirit Halloween is just a costume place that only pops up at one time of year and one time of year only. It's a shame that they never had Spirit Halloween all year round. Understanding that, I do wish, though, that the gun could have included like some sort of display stand. Something that could have actually even sat. I'm illustrating this with my hands right now. But just like a little, I don't know, like a little fork stand that could hold it up like this. I might have to try to devise something myself. I'm not going to go shamelessly with cardboard. We want to make it a little more presentable than that. But I would certainly like to get myself a display stand so I could have it propped up nicely. I do wish that it could be something that could have come included with the gun in the first place. I will tell you, though, the gun is generally quite light. There's very little in the way of weight to it. It's mostly all hollow, and then of course the main working components are the ones that are on the end of the gun. But this whole back section, short of maybe the battery compartment, is pretty light. Now obviously I'm sure you guys tuning into this video, new and old, will definitely want to see how this actually works. Well, making sure first of all I've got it switched to on. What I'm going to do is press the button, I don't really even have to describe and explain what it's going to be doing. You'll see it right away. The front will spin around, the lights will turn on, and it'll make that ever-haunting cotton candy gun that we hear in the movie. Let's go and do that right now. I probably should have also stressed at the beginning of this video, if you are one that experiences slight seizures from strobing lights like this, maybe tune away just right now. Like I said, though, the top 3 lights, all 3 of them do light up, and the whole front section of the gun actually spins around. And it makes what I could best describe as a haunting owl in a Scooby-Doo cartoon. Right? Doesn't it? What was the name of that spooky owl from that Scooby-Doo episode? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'm drawing a bit of a blank right now. Somebody will tell me, I'm sure, down below. But it does certainly sound a little like the owl from that Scooby-Doo episode. He always says, Scooby-Doo. Other than the fact it is light, I will say, like, color-wise, they've captured all the colors rather nicely. You've got, of course, sort of like the squares of red. Not quite perfect squares. They're obviously rounded off on the ends there. But you can see they've outlined it nicely. Actually, what's neat is that they've panel lined it, but the panel lining actually does stick up, making me believe actually that the squares are more sunken into the plastic itself. You've got the bright lime green on the top there, the little orbs done in white, bright orbs of pink, and again the striping colors of the red and the green on the end of the nozzle. It's a really fun toy. The price point, by the way, I found this at my local Spirit Halloween. Thank goodness I didn't have to order this online. If I have in the past ordered things online from Spirit Halloween, then I have to worry about the shipping, I have to worry about the conversion, and it gets pretty expensive pretty fast. But I did find this actually at my local Spirit Halloween, and the price point was $34.99. That's not bad. That's not bad at all to get a replica of the cotton candy gun that the Killer Klowns have in the Killer Klowns from Outer Space movie. Again, like this one was available last year, 2021. It had sold out real fast, in fact, and then they had luckily re-released it for the 2022 season. Missed my chance last year to get it, but I knew this year was the year. I told myself, I'm going to make a goal for myself. This was the year I was going to get the Killer Clown from Outer Space cotton candy gun, and as of course the proof is in the pudding, finally having a look at it here on the channel. It is light, it is missing, yes, a display stand, but at least it does have actually things that move on it. It does have light ups, and it does have the creepy owl sound. I swear it to you, it sounds like the cotton candy gun sounds like the creepy owl from an episode of Scooby-Doo. Let me know down below what the episode was. That episode, by the way, was called Watch Out, the Willowaw. It was all about a haunting owl that was trying to scare away people. And we always know in these Scooby-Doo episodes, it ended up not being a real ghost, a real monster. In this case, a real owl. It was just always somebody that was trying to scare away town folk. Or people, of course, just stopping through. Tourists. You never really want to have tourists sticking around. Let's just devise a haunting owl instead. It bared slight resemblance, by the way, to the sound of the cotton candy gun. My memory thought it was closer. It bared slight resemblance. Somebody's going to tell me down below. It bared no resemblance whatsoever. Nonetheless, though, I do like the idea that, first of all, Spirit Halloween re-released this item from last year. This came out in 2021, sold out, never got the chance to get it 2021, but 2022 came about, and I said to myself, I'm going to hit every single Halloween store, Spirit Halloween store, at least in my area. I'm not going to go trekking too far in case I run into some scary looking owl. But at least I found in my second stop to a Spirit Halloween store, sure enough, they had this one, and they had about 3 or 4 of these on the shelf. I thought to myself, I could technically come back, or I could just buy it right now. The price point, by the way, for this was $34.99. I think that's a pretty good price, considering we have an actual moving, light-up gun. If this was hollow and it did absolutely squat, then I would say that maybe $34.99, at least here in Canada, was a little too high. By the way, online, it was about like $29.99, so it's not that much more here in Canada. But the fact that it does move and actually do stuff is worth the investment, at least for me, especially if you're a big fan of Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Are you a big fan of Killer Klowns from Outer Space down below? Let me know down below. And is this something you would be interested to pick up for yourself? One thing, at least, it does come included with batteries right away. Stock. You don't have to worry about those right away, unless some kids have been going up to it all the time. I always grab the one that's a couple back. Don't ever grab the one that's on the front, because if it has batteries, you got to know it has a Try Me sticker that's tempting on the front. Kids are going to be going up, pressing the button, laughing, giggling, calling their other friends over, calling over their parents and saying, Mommy, Daddy, look at this, and doing it rinse and repeat. And that's going to kill the batteries right away. Technically, I could put in brand new AA batteries, but I'm not going to do that. If the batteries are already in there, I'm just going to pull back, maybe 2 off the shelf, and grab the one that's on the back, the one at the bottom. the one at the back. That's the one I'm going to grab. But yeah, is this something that you guys would be interested to pick up for yourself? Let me know down below in the comments section. And if you certainly enjoyed this video, certainly hit it with a spooky like. It's still technically a like. It's not different just because it's Halloween. And if you want to stick around for more spookerific reviews over the course of Spottober, because we are, of course, now in the spooky spot season, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the very eerily sounding bell notification that sounds nothing like the Willowa. Didn't sound remote. Slight resemblance to Willowa. Certainly stick around, guys, also as well, because while we have wrapped up the review for the cotton candy gun, there is going to be more terrific videos coming your way. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.